All right. Chicken time. Yeah, man, look how good it is. This is breakfast. You can see what time it is. I already worked out and want to get some good protein in, eh? There you go. Pavel Tatulin and Dan John. Such influences over me and my thoughts about training. Steve-O, I guess I'll see you later today, huh? You must be on a late shift, huh? Bismarck, 93. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, yesterday, Steve, was a really good shift, man. Was one of the better late shifts that I've had in a long time, so it wasn't as chaotic as it has been the last week or so. Today was how long of a workout did I have today? Today's workout was like 40 minutes. Ran in, squat, and got out. You know, something else popped in my mind. Since I've started doing these sets of 5, almost every workout, I feel like a lower back pump, like not a pump, but like a lower back fatigue. And every time I get into one of these grooves where things are feeling great, I notice that I'm always, like, these periods are always filled with lots of lower back work. Like, I remember when I was doing the pin squats. I don't know if you guys recall back then when I was doing pin squats like 2-3 times a week. During the first 200 kilo streak for 17 days or whatever it was. Every single day, my lower back is screaming. Lower back is tight, lower back is full of blood. Pumped. Well, since I've been doing these sets of 5, almost every single day I'm like, my lower back is like the #1 muscle work. This morning I had like 40 minutes, quickly warmed up the hips, you know, did all the side kicks and hip flexor work and all that. Got under the bar and started working and I'm like, man, my lower back is screaming. Clearly I'm still fatigued from the set of 8 from the other day. Worked up to 160 today for a set of 5, that felt heavy. But like it seems to me that every single day I put my lower back on the map, it seems like it's gonna be a really strong day. It's gonna be like a really productive day. So it's weird, man. It's like, is this what strong people always feel? Like a lower back is on the map? Yeah, Dave, really good. Kids are good. My little girl right now is in that room over there. She's watching a TV show. The wifey and the big boy going up to swimming, and I've got a baby in the other room sleeping. So we might get interrupted early. Let's see how long he stays sleeping. But yeah. Thought I'd jump on here and show you guys what I've got to eat this morning. some chicken, and you know, to be honest with you, I should be eating more stuff with this chicken, but the chicken is so damn good that it's good enough to eat by itself, man. So good. Christopher C, legend. Isolation stuff is okay, but I don't know, man. Like I've had periods where I've really pushed leg extensions, and like it's a nice feeling. You get some warm and stuff, but nothing makes me as strong in my lower body, in my whole body really, as high rep squats. So like if you had a time, let's say an hour of time to train. Like how do you allocate your resources? Do you think 30 minutes squats, 30 minutes leg extensions is a good idea? Do you weigh them the same? Do you go 15 minute squats, 10-minute quads? Like that's up for, you know, your subjective opinion, what in the goals that you have. But I don't know, every time I do them, I feel like I'm missing out on something. I feel like I'm using precious energy on something that is not going to give me the greatest return. It's just strange. But you know, each to their own, man. Like some people get a good feeling, others don't. I don't know. Interestingly enough, the good morning phase, I remember that. That was mostly hamstrings. Because with the good mornings, like you're bending your back, right, like this. So you get a 90 degree, let's say, in the extreme sense. 90 degree, maybe a little bit more than 90 degree. Let's say 100 degrees, right, of hip flexion. And then you go up, and it's like this, right? This is your hips in here. But in squats, what are the leverages, what are the angles in the squat? Well, you go like this, right? This is the femur, this is the back. So think about, you're basically at freaking 180 degrees, like here, right? And you're doing this. So, good mornings, and then you have like squats. So the range of motion in the squats is always going to be more impressive, and it's going to be a higher load on the lower back, in my opinion. So I think squats, like ATG squats, are much, much harder on the lower back than good mornings. Do I really squat every day? Well, don't let me lie to you. You can have a look. My most common meal, I don't know. Probably eggs. Bacon and eggs in the morning, that's usually the go-to. I had that yesterday before work. Yeah, probably that. I would say. Oh, there's no bone in here. Oh, damn, that's nice. Use your hand. I don't know why, but I don't like using my hands to eat. Even chicken. I don't like the greasy feeling. I don't know what it is about me. Yeah, sure, sometimes you dig in or whatever. But I like staying clean when I eat, if you know what I mean. And this one, like, well, this piece particularly didn't have any bones, but this one does. So I have to have like high dexterity for this. Yeah, without a doubt. Completely different than a good morning. Yep. Although, if you're doing good mornings properly, the bar should be pretty much close to the middle of your foot. Like you shouldn't be, you shouldn't be just doing this. That is gonna snap your, like, let's say these are the legs. Like, let's say it's not proportionate, but let's say this is the knee, these are the hips, and then this is the upper body. Like you're not supposed to do good mornings like this, because the bar is going to be here, right? This is the shoulders. That's going to injure you. What you're supposed to be doing is this, right? So from knee down, you are completely in concrete. There's no flexion and extension of the ankle. So you're supposed to be doing this, like this, right? Okay, the bar should be maybe sometimes a little bit ahead of your middle of the foot, but shouldn't be like this much further, because that is going to snap your spine. Miloše, prijatno, hvala. Thank you, Carl, you too. The only bad thing about seated good mornings is that I feel like it crushes my balls, to be upfront like that. Because I feel like, why sit? Like, what's the difference between seated good mornings and an ATG squat? I don't know. Let the balls hang, man. Why do you have to crush them? That's kind of what I thought. Arena Mary, appreciate you stopping by, man. Oh, Soulboy 60, man, what a run. Sciatica's tough, really tough. I'm a big fan of RDLs. RDLs, there's a short list of exercises that have made me feel amazing. I remember a few years ago, I went crazy on RDLs for a few months. Epic. And much, much cheaper to recover from than deadlifts off the ground. That breaking of the inertia of a normal deadlift off the ground, like peeling that shit off the floor, is so freaking taxing. But the moment you get moving, right, and then you start RDLing, so you never let the weight hit the floor, and you just keep kind of like going in that middle range of motion. So like a little bit below the knee, and then all the way to the top, a little bit below the knee to the top. That's where the bar's kind of going. It's just freaking epic, man. Like there's a few exercises that give me that stimulus. Like I'm really, like it feels like this is exactly what I should be doing. It's going to carry over exactly to what I need. Like what I was saying before, it smashes the shit out of the lower back. It makes you really focus on the lower back. And that same positioning that you feel like you have to maintain in the RDL, it's directly the same position, the same feel that you have when you've got a bar on your back and you're moving that thing through that range of motion. So RDLs are like one of those go-to exercises. I feel like in terms of training, as a resource, like allocation, RDLs are much better than normal deadlifts, purely because it's just easier to live with. It's easier on the recovery. So when you think of it an exercise and the benefit that exercise has on you, you also have to think about how much it costs. Like deadlifts are probably the most expensive thing. It depends on who you are, I guess, but generally speaking, deadlifts are the most expensive. And so in even recent times, the last few weeks, I've tried to deadlift with more frequency, but it just wipes me out. So like once a week is all I'm going to do right now. I've been kind of trying to add another day. I think once a week I will do deadlifts, and then maybe another time in the week I'll do power cleans and some GHDs, and kind of stay away from that hard peeling that shit off the ground is just, so I think RDLs are like up there in terms of like some of the best stuff you can do for your lower body. I honestly think that I'm a big fan of RDLs. And when I see people do RDLs, I'm like, well done. Like this is benefiting you more than you realize. Because if you think about it, like what's better? One heavy deadlift session a week or 2 RDL sessions a week? What's going to get you more returns? I would argue that the RDLs are probably better because there's more frequency, there's more volume, you're getting through more work. You know, your hamstrings, your lower back, like all of that stuff, traps, everything's getting worked a lot more than doing it once a week and then resting for a week. Oh, I thought there was a little baby waking up. There you go, Veta. Veta, man, you keep doing that, I reckon you'll be in good stead. Yeah. MS, for the single leg squats, I've done this in the past, and you can look up me doing in the gym as well. Like I worked up to, I'm gonna lie now, I reckon I worked up to 120 kilos, 120 kilo single leg squat, or let's say split squat. Oh no, it was elevated. I had my back foot elevated in the gym. Dare I say I tried 140? Did I try 140 for 1 rep? I'd have to go back in the videos and see. And I remember around that time, like I was amazed how, let's say your back squat is 200 kilos. It would make sense that your split stance squat is going to be around 100 kilos max, right? But it turns out that it is far more than 50% of your back squat. So a single leg squat is like around 60%, like 70% of your normal squat. I remember discovering this a few years ago and I was like, that makes no sense. What is going on? And the reason for that is something to do with the central nervous system focusing solely on one leg and the other one is relaxing. And there's like the central nervous drive increases for the one leg. It's sending all of its like fire into one leg rather than split it into the 2 legs. I can't remember exactly what that phenomenon is, but I remember there was a good explanation, like scientific, biological explanation for that phenomenon. Something got to do with the central nervous system sending more to one leg, which is really interesting. One of the reasons why I stopped it is because I literally felt, when I was pushing the heavy weights with the split stance squat, I literally felt like I was going to blow my knee out. Like, not so much like sideways, like this way. I felt like my knee was going to slide. Like I felt this sensation. It was like a weird sensation and I didn't like it. It felt like my ACL was really copying it. Because the ACL, what the ACL does, if this is the femur at the top and this is the tibia and this is the knee, you know, the knee operates like this, right? Well, the ACL, like, you know, the shearing forces of an ACL, like when your knee does this, like say you plant your foot, let's say you're playing soccer and you know, your shoe digs into the ground and for whatever reason you're bending your knee and then there's like a shearing force. This is what like tears the ACL. So one of the tests your physio will do is he will kind of like sit down next to you and pull the tibia and try and distract the tibia and like try and cause this. If your knee doesn't do this, that means the ACL is intact. That's the feeling that I was getting with heavy single leg squats. And I went away from it because I was like, if I continue this, man, I don't know, I might just one day hear a big pop and then I've done my ACL and then goodbye to squatting and goodbye to everything for a long time. So it scared me away. Probably the loading was too much and probably if you use, you know, normal weights, like if I had the mentality that I have right now and getting more and more reps, it probably would have been all right. But I just didn't like that risk factor being there. bilateral deficit. Yeah, that's maybe that. Yeah, that kind of rings a bell. Well, Daniel, you're saying it's not healthy for knee health. Funny you say that. John Hack records knee health poor doing them. Yeah, there you go. Nah, man, I haven't watched anything. I woke up, trained, and I'm gonna go to work straight after this. And that's gonna be my day. Nothing else happening in my day today. Quick workout, feed, shower, chill out with the fam when we all kind of get home, and then off to work. Not enough freaking hours in a day, man. You know what? When I was a kid, man, not even when I was a kid, when I was like 18, 19, 20, I felt like I can do more shit in a day, man. Seriously, like I felt like the day was longer. Now I'm like for instance, today I'm reduced to 40 minutes of free time, like to train. Everything else is like boom, boom, eat, shower, get out of the shower, pack lunch, get water, pack the bag, kiss the kids, chill out with the family a little bit. Maybe go kick the soccer ball at the back, go to work. Work until 9, 10 o'clock, come back, everyone's asleep. Get back on this same position by myself, sit down, eat. I feel like I'm never eating with the fam, like I'm always like out of rhythm with everyone. Kind of happens when you have a little baby because the baby doesn't let anybody do anything together. The moment we sit down as a family to eat, it is what it is. It's chaos, but not as chaotic as ED, so it's still kind of nice to be here. Happy Friday, Joskin. Is it Joskin? Josin. I used to roll my feet out. It feels good to get the ball in there. I haven't for a little while. Sometimes my kids are awesome, man. Let's say I'm sitting down playing PlayStation, they'll come in and they'll try and like massage me. They'll try and massage my shoulders and whatever, and my daughter will start playing with my hair, and I'm like busting out. And sometimes like they bring the little lacrosse ball to put it on my feet. They're like, Dad, we need to massage your foot. So like, you know, I put my foot on there and they stand on my foot with the lacrosse ball underneath. Sometimes that happens, but that's, you know, their initiative. That's not mine. But yeah, it feels good. It feels good. Thank you, Alexander, man. Well, hopefully I'll get somewhere with the squat business one day. I'll keep doing it, that's for sure. Maybe one day it's not going to be possible to do squat every day, but after 4 years of squatting every day, man, I think it's pretty safe to call that squatting is my thing. It's fun, it drives me, it makes me get up in the morning and look forward to it. So I found my little thing. I don't train for the benefits I'm going to get for training. I train because I love the act of training. And I think if you ever get into a position like that, where you actually do something for the love of doing something, you're going to be better off. Like what's that quote that people say? The man that loves to walk will walk further than the man that looks forward to the destination. Is that right? The man that loves to walk will walk further than the man that loves the destination. It's kind of like that, right? Like, you know, and it's whatever. You know, philosophy is one thing, reality is another, I guess, sometimes, but that's kind of like what resonates with me. I love to squat. I love to train. The act of training gets me more excited than the actual destination of, oh look, I'm gonna hit 220 soon. Oh look, I'm gonna hit 230 soon, 240, 250. Look, that, like, I'm not saying that makes me sad. That's a good feeling as well, no doubt. But the act of getting up in the morning, feeling like an athlete, feeling like I played basketball for a professional team, like that grind. Maybe that's where it all comes from. Like, I just always wanted to be a professional basketball player. Before that, I dreamed about playing in the FIFA World Cup. Obviously, none of that is possible anymore. But like the fact that I can still get up in the morning and train like I was a professional makes me kind of half happy that I am playing for the FIFA World Cup and playing in the NBA, because I'm kind of doing half of the thing anyway. The only thing missing is the other part of the lifestyle. I'm still training. Well, Andrew, that's an interesting thing. It has to be some sort of imbalance somewhere. The first thing that I would check is your hip internal and external rotation. When your knees are about 90 degrees, when you're like halfway in the squat, let's say a box squat, that halfway position that you find yourself in the box squat, especially straight after the box, that's where there's the most amount of internal rotation of the femurs. So if there's a discrepancy there, left or right, you're probably going to lean to one side more than the other. So the squat goes from external rotation at the top, the first 20, 30 degrees. Then we go into internal rotation period, and then at the bottom it's external again. So there's like a passing over of rotation in our legs as we go. So if you're stuck, if you're having trouble halfway up the squat or in the box squat, I would look there. That's what I would look first and foremost for clues, and then you can kind of get directed. You can't do many other things, man. Like, look into that, and then from there you can look into like passive range of motion of the hip flexors and that. I love it how it was so funny, Abdu, what you wrote there about the clearances 5x5. It's so funny, like he goes out, makes a video, and he's like, this is what I did to become the greatest of all the greats, right? Basically, he had huge freaking gains. And then he's throughout the video saying, please don't do this, I don't recommend this, please don't do this, I don't recommend this, don't do it. And then, Abdu is like, oh, fuck it, I'm doing it, I want to do it. It's funny how our brain works. It's like the same thing when I was watching. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. But he's like, don't do it. Well, I want to do it because I want the results. But it's a really bad way to go about it. Don't do it. Man, shut up, man. I want to do it. I want the results. So, I mean, you can try. It's a shit ton of work, dude. It's a shit ton of work. 5x5 that frequently is a huge amount of workload. Like, I don't know, like who you are and what you do in life and how many hours you work in a week or whatever. Hello from Portugal. Hello, Rafaela. Like, I don't know any of those things about you, so maybe you can just eat, sleep, and train. If you can eat, sleep, and train and just maximize your recovery, shit, man, go for it. Don't let me try and stop you, but just understand that, like, people read some training programs, and I don't know if people understand what 5x5 is at 70% or 75%. And that is so freaking heavy. Like, that makes me tired thinking about it. It's a lot of work. And on your best days, sure, you can absolutely go in and smash out a 5x5 workout even at 85%. That's cool, you can do it. But my thing is, think about the worst freaking day of the week where you wake up feeling shit, nothing's going your way. Can you survive a 5x5 workout or a 3x5 workout or whatever at 70%? Can you survive that? Maybe you can, but at what cost? You're gonna be gutted. You're going to be freaking gutted. And just the impact on your life, such an extreme program, I don't know. Look, man, if I didn't have a family, I didn't have a wife, If I didn't have this house, I just lived in a freaking 1-bedroom apartment somewhere, and the dining room was a squat rack. Shit, dude, you know, I'll probably do it as well. But you just kind of have to balance it all out and see what's going on, man. You know what I mean? Give me some of that, please. Damn. Let me take some of these and get a thing. Probably should wash it. Give me a sec. Oh, yeah, buddy. Give me some of that. There we go, boys. Get some grapies up here. Get some grapies up here. Let me give this wash. Mitso, are you okay? Good girl. Okay. All right, let's get some grapes. Yeah, so it's funny, Henrik, how you say that you feel like your knees are gonna blow out when you hear about the 5x5 program by Clarence. The first thing that I feel, and this is just a show of, you know, what's the driving factor for our squats. I don't worry about my knees when I hear about 5x5. I feel like my lower back is gonna blow out and my freaking spinal cord is gonna be on the back wall. That's what I feel like. So it's I'm very posterior chain dominant, you can tell, just by the feeling that I get when I think about the 5x5 program. Okay, so you work about 30 hours a week, man. That's a lot of work, man. But yeah, give it a try, dude. Whatever, life's too short. I can do it. Don't sit there wondering. Squatting every day, it depends, dude. I love these questions. Is squatting every day beneficial for muscle growth? Absolutely. If you're an office guy that doesn't do any freaking exercise and all you do is sit in the office 24/7, you don't even see the sunlight, you're completely sedentary, absolutely, squat every day is excellent for you because it's better than zero. If you're an IFBB bodybuilder and you're freaking training like a maniac already, do you think that person needs to go back to squat every day and do that for muscle growth? No. So Lauren, it just depends who you are. I don't know who you are. Depends on where you are right now and what you're doing. I would say that if you're not doing anything, squat every day is excellent because it's something. If it appeals to you, do it. If 5x5 appeals to you, do it. Anything appeals, you know, anything's good. Anything's good. It just depends on what your baseline is. Travis, what's going on, man? Bench genetics. I don't know if I have bench genetics. I just have short freaking arms. Look at this. My arm is like, this is my arm and I don't really, I don't know. It's a pretty good arm, but like, whatever. I wish my quads were like that. Not my freaking arms, but anyway. I'll probably never wear knee sleeves. A belt, maybe one day. Yeah. Even if you, let's say you decided to run every day, I would argue that running is probably even more extreme than squatting every day. If you're doing a 10K run every single day, man, that like, you know, running it's much more longer discomfort than squatting. I guess you know, the grass is always greener over the fence. You know, maybe running is easier. I don't know. But if you commit yourself to anything every day, even if you play the guitar every single day, just the act of doing something every single day will test you. Because not every day you're gonna want to do whatever, you know. Some days I wake up and I'm like, I really don't feel like it, but I'll still do it, and I still make myself do it. And then after that act of doing it on a bad day, I always feel good, man. It always feels like a good time. Your baby is sleeping. Hasn't made a word. And your other baby's watching TV over there. It's almost like he knows that Dad isn't alive and he doesn't want to distract me. Anna, I'm good. How are you? Travis, hello, man. Noah, what's going on? Hello, hello. There's a whole bunch of you coming in now. What's happened? I feel like I'm a triage. Patients never come in at the same time. Patients never come in just one at a time. Nah. It's like, we call it the bus pulls up. The bus, it feels like a bus has just arrived and 50 people walking at the same time. It's like, what the hell, man? There's like a stretch of nobody walks in for an hour and then everyone walks up like all of a sudden. It's like this. Just had like 6 people walking. Oh, Ali, after 1 year of training, what was my squat? Oh, these are always hard questions. Let me start off with thinking, where did I live back then? That's when I was 25. We just got the squat rack, just got the plates and barbells and whatnot. Jeez, I don't know, man. I want to say like 120. 120, I reckon I had. 100, 2 plates. Maybe 100 kilos or something like that. You know, but back then, like, I trained seriously, but I didn't know much about anything. You know, I was like complete noob. This is the thing, like, when you first start training, you don't just start, you know, your body is just not the only thing that's new. When I first started training, I didn't know what I was doing. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just like my body doesn't know what it's doing. My brain doesn't know what to do. So, you know, I started reading Mark Ripeto's stuff, practical programming, starting strength. I bought Pavel Tatulin's stuff. I bought Dan John's stuff. I bought all these freaking books. And obviously they take weeks, months to freaking get through and read and reread and like, oh shit. Okay, let me look these people up on YouTube, and then you see all these, you know, influencers, and then you're processing all this information. It took me a while to work out what to do. All I knew is like, I want to squat like Clarence Kennedy, I want to squat like Lou, Tian Tao, like Klokov. I want to squat like these guys, but like, why am I struggling? Oh shit, let me get some Ollie shoes. Got the Ollie shoes. Okay, that's better, but why is it better with Ollie shoes? Oh look, the knee starts to pop. I remember the earliest symptoms were like my knee, like my patella wasn't tracking properly. It started like clicking and popping and shit. And I was like, the fuck is this? Does that mean like my knee is bad? Do I have any injury? Okay, look this up, read this, read that. I'll tentatively go back to weights, train. Oh shit, my lower back is really freaking killing me, man. Like, should my lower back really get pumped when I'm squatting? 10 years on, it's still getting pumped. And now I'm like, no, that's a great sign for me. But initially I was like, oh my God, my back. Should my back really be taking the brunt of squatting? It doesn't sound right. I think it should be the quads. Oh, maybe it's the glutes. So then you stop and then you run away, then you come back and you're like, oh shit. I had no idea, man. I had no idea. So you kind of go along with it. Your body's struggling to understand what the hell is happening and trying to adapt. Your brain, probably I would say, knowledge is the most important thing when it comes to attaining a fitness goal or whatever. If you know what to do, that's freaking more than half of the journey there, man. I didn't know. I didn't have anyone around me. Everyone around me was like, okay, go to the gym and just like, chest day, back day, biceps, do a leg day. What does that mean? Like, what's a leg day? Oh, just some leg press, leg extensions, leg curls, and then go home. That was leg day. Oh, maybe some lunges. There was no squatting. There was no deadlifting. There was nothing like meaningful, strength-wise. And that was my exposure. I never saw anybody squat for years, like real life. See somebody squat anything meaningful. It was, you go to the gym to like Anytime Fitness. That's where I used to go. And dudes are just like, sea of machines, 1, maybe 2 squat racks. Dust everywhere over it. People were doing bicep curls in there. And then I remember a guy in Anytime Fitness. This guy will always be in my memory. I have no idea who this guy is. But I remember he was doing sumo deadlifting and he had like 5 plates on. I remember he had chalk everywhere on his hands, on the floor. Everything was covered. And people were looking at him. He's making this freaking noise and smashing the plates and stuff. And he caught my attention because like I've never seen a guy move that much weight. This is like early days, man. Like before I even got my squat rack at home. I think that's a baby. And then later on, my mate said to me, like, who works in ED with me, he was like, oh, he's one of the Star Force boys. Star Force here in Adelaide is like the special police unit. So like very, very fit dudes, elite fitness. And I was like, fuck, that's cool, man. That guy's strong. 5 plate sumo, amazing. Thank you, Lucas. Thanks, man. To the gym. Nice. I think he's slowly waking up. That's the time up there. $10:35 in the morning. Can I grow a beard? Nah, I haven't tried, to be honest. It's much better now, but I'm 35 and I have like very weak facial hair. Even my dad, actually my dad can grow like this part very, very thick. He's actually had that for a long time. But I've never seen him grow like on the side there, like bushy, or never seen that. Do I have a 6-pack? No. We all have a 6-pack, but mine's not visible now. Not at this fat level. How does it feel to know that you're the strong guy in the gym? I don't know. Not as good as I thought. You always think that somebody has a really nice life, somebody else. And then let's say you become that somebody else and you're like, makes no difference to anyone really. We always think somebody else has it better, but it's not like that, man. I don't know. I don't pay attention to what other people think. I don't look for gratification from other people. I just focus on my thing. If I go to the gym, I'm like, I think the reason for that is like, okay, cool, I can squat 200. That's great. Well done, mate. But when you get to the 200 kilo squat, you know, you're thinking about the 300 kilo squat and the people that can do 300 kilo squat. So like you never feel that impressed by your current state because your current state is not world record stuff. So, but I'm sure the person that's just starting out, he's seeing me and he's like, wow, you're amazing. And I'm where I am and I'm like, wow, Clarence Kennedy, Tian Tao, Klokov, wow. So it's always like that. Yeah, so frozen grapes, something I haven't tried, but grapes out of the fridge, very refreshing. No, I didn't watch the Arnold Classic. There's like a bunch of you guys that. Oh man, I am full now. Oh, I can go back to bed. Spencer, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. It's always nice to hear messages like that. Always nice. Big squat challenge. Ooh. No, I haven't seen that. I'll go check that out. Big squat routine is near and dear to my heart. It's probably the best way to inflict the most amount of pain on your body. It's yeah, it's a lot of reps. Cypress H, thank you, man. Yeah, Spencer, oh god, this is all wet. I tried training the anterior core. I tried doing all that stuff for the past year, focusing more on that. It didn't really get me anywhere. You know, I've spent whatever, a few weeks, month now, focusing on the posterior chain, and automatically, like almost like instantly, I start feeling results. I start feeling stronger, more balanced, hips are more restored. So you kind of have to follow just that feeling, you know. I think for me, it is what it is. That's how I'm built. I just have to make a career out of targeting the posterior chain. GHD, I bought that thing. That's like one of the key components of that thinking. Posterior chain, lower back, glutes, hamstrings, lats, traps, all of that back stuff. Is where the strength is, at least for me. I don't know, other people might be completely different, but this is why I think for a very long time Louis Simmons has always, resonated with me. It really is true what he used to say, really is true. And he came up with hundreds of freaking exercises for simple, hip extension movement. Do it this way, that way, which way, mix it up all the time, confuse the body, but always posterior chain, and you know he's got athletes to prove it. Yes, his squat wasn't what I'm kind of chasing. You know, the style is completely different, but I think the posterior chain will never go wrong. It's the limiting factor. Like it's the last thing to fail before you drop the bar. If you think about any squat, you know, you always end up in a good morning position if you're really fighting it. The fact that for a very long time I didn't have the ability to fight, you know, to grind weights out, tells me that I never really had confidence. Or I've had periods, but you know, for the last year I didn't have confidence to grind weights out, which probably means that my lower back, glutes, hamstrings were not up to par. So this year, you know, I've done a month of freaking hardcore posterior training, you know, GHDs up to like sets of 20 and 30. And already like a few days ago, I did a 180 kilo for a set of 8 squats. So, you know, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. So let's say in a month, whatever, it doesn't really matter what the rate of progression is. If I continue to go in this direction, I can only expect better and better things. You know, it's been 2 years since I've done a deadlift PR. It's been more than 2 years. And so that tells me that I've spent 2 years of fuffing around. About 2 years ago, you know, I had a similar type of mentality. And I got disenchanted, you know, with the posterior chain kind of thoughts, and I ran away from it. And where's that led me? 2 years of no progress in the deadlift. So now, like back then, more than 2 years ago, you know, back then I was doing like block pulls. I don't even know if you guys remember some of this stuff, like if you guys were around for those videos, but I was doing block pulls, I was doing rack pulls, I was doing different heights, pin squats, like all this like super heavy shit. And it's all like, I remember every session, my lower back is lit up. Like I can't even sit in the car after the session. 45 hypers, GHDs, all that stuff. And all of that stuff led me into some sort of direction that was positive. You know, the 265, I remember doing leg curls like a maniac on the days where I couldn't do, you know, the big stuff. Yeah, so plenty of history there. I think it's one of the biggest fallacies, at least for me. Like this is just me talking personally. The biggest fallacy is to think that quads are the main movers in a squat. For me, no, don't think that. Let the quads do whatever the hell they want to do. Posterior chain. Okay, that's a little one. Let me go get him. But really what's going on, boys, is that all of this stuff that you guys are seeing right now from the squat every day, it's all leading up to this guy setting world records and learning from his daddy's mistakes. This guy, in about 20 years, watch out. Yeah, buddy. This guy right here, boys. Andre. He's checking himself out. What a gorgeous baby. Do we look like each other? Am I the father? Had a little bit of a sleep, and now he's up and about. Soon mama's gonna be home and give you some milky milk. And you're gonna be happy again. He hates when I have a little bit of a little bit of facial hair. So when I have a clean shave, he loves getting kissed. Now, boys, don't worry about the progress that I've got. Don't worry about all of this stuff. Everything we do is for our sons and daughters. So one day, this little one is going to grow up. He's going to walk over to the squat rack and he's going to be like, Dad, step aside, man. Pull up a seat. Let me show you how it's done. This guy was conceived after 3 years of squatting. 3 years of squatting genes made you. Are you gonna be squatting, Cena? You gonna be squatting? He's 5 months today. What a unit. He's like 9 kilos. Mm-hmm. What's happening over there? Yeah, his squat, what's up? His squat looks impeccable. He's got such range of motion with his hips that he makes daddy jealous. Why do you make daddy jealous? Why? Little baby. You can see yourself over there. What is that over there? I can't see what everyone is writing, see. Yeah, the gains. The gains in 5 months has put on double his weight. In 5 months, you've doubled your weight. What sort of steroids are you on, my friend? Where do I get these steroids from? Milky milk. Oh, God. What are people saying? How, people always talk about how, like, what they've achieved and stuff like that is really, really cool. But man, I can already smell it. When I see him and when I see his brother and sister do something, I'm going to be like, oh my God. Is there anything better in life than setting up success? I did. Oh, Tata. Oh my God. Babies are the cutest when they just wake up because they're so happy. But towards just before sleep, it's the worst because they're cranky. Cranky little guy. Show them how you can stand, see me. Ooh, it's a little bit cold here, a little bit cold. Look at that lateral vastus lateralis. Yeah, buddy. Ooh. He looks like a little peanut. Everything becomes irrelevant when you look at him. Yeah, whatever. Squats, deadlifts, blah, 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 blah. Pure canvas. Pure love. Oh, little burp. What needs more volume, squats or bench? That's a really good question. That is interesting. My gut feeling is to say you need way more bench volume. I don't know. So in the last, like from December to January, that 2-month period, I had lots of benching. It was like every other day, basically for 2 months. But I didn't do much volume. It was just like frequent, lots of singles, but I did put a lot of volume into bench accessories. If that makes sense. So what I was doing was like, 10 sets of doubles, 8 doubles, 5 doubles, whatever on the day I could get. And then supersetted with that, or after that, I would do like supination, pronation, lots of stuff like that to make the elbows happy, especially this guy here, to make it happy to be able to do that volume. And then ultimately, the volume, the frequency, let's say weekly volume through frequency, was what made it happen. But the bench accessories is what really made it happen, because that allowed for the volume, if that makes sense. Since then, I've kind of moved away from that, various different reasons. Try to do a bit more ollie lifting. As soon as I put snatch in, boom, destroyed everything. So much fatigue through the shoulder girdle, upper back, all that screwed me over. So now I'm kind of doing cleans once a week, and I will keep that and address other things. Drive the squat, drive the deadlift, drive the bench. And I mean, the bench frequency is not what it used to be, but I'll try and get it back again. But yeah, I would say bench is more like frequency is very, very important. Yeah, frequency is very, very important for bench. Volume, I remember I had one day a few weeks ago where I did worked up to 140, then went down to 120 for a triple, then I went down to, 130 for a triple, then I went down to 120 and I did sets of 8, I think, with 120 or something like that. And I was sore for 4 days after that. I don't know if that's the way to go. That's probably the way to put muscle on. But if you want strength, I think the doubles, the triples is where it's at every few days. Am I going to eat the baby? I would love to eat the baby. Baby's next. Actually, the baby's eating me. Why are you eating me? Baby's eating me. Oh, bebo. Sta lá, Liz. Sta beba lá, Liz. No, meu bebê. What he needs is one of these babies. Chuck this in. Bang! Opa, why'd you spit it out? Don't spit it out. Man, there's nothing more beautiful in life. There is nothing more beautiful. Why do we concern ourselves with such weird things? Squatting, deadlifting, benching. When we should just make more of these little guys. You know, Kevin, when I first found out about, I'm about to become a father, I remember it's a crazy feeling, right? It's like, what the hell? This is happening. I'll never forget the day, man. I'll never forget the moment when she told me. For some reason, my brain didn't straight away go to this stage. My brain went to, oh my God, like I'll be taking my daughter, or we didn't find out the sex, obviously, like, you don't find out the sex when you find out that she's pregnant for the first time. But automatically I was like, I'm going to be going to basketball training, basketball games. I'm going to be coaching. My brain straight away went there to like a 10-year-old, and I'm driving him or her somewhere for sport. And then like next thought is like, man, we'll be in the gym together with my son. How sick is that? That is epic. And it kind of motivated me to like get good at training. So all of my mistakes, all of my stuff, like it's almost like it's all good, man. It's all good. Don't worry about any of that stuff, because it's all information that you'll be able to pass on to him, and then he's gonna benefit from your lessons. Like my dad was a volleyballer when he was a kid. Obviously the war screwed everything up, and at freaking 36 he had to move. 37, 38 he had to move to a completely different continent and do all that stuff. But I didn't have somebody that was versed, well read, well understood in the iron game. But he's gonna have that. It's up to him if he wants to access that resource. But if he chooses to play any sports, I think strength and conditioning is a huge factor for athletic performance. So, I'll be there for them. I'll be like, son, if you want to improve your athleticism, you got to squat, you got to deadlift, you got to build those glutes, build those hamstrings. Make sure you don't do an ACL. That is not going to allow that. And then we can do some strength and conditioning. Or he might pick up weightlifting, or powerlifting. Who knows? So exciting. That is going to just support whatever you end up doing. Don't throw it on the ground, you cheeky little guy. You want to throw it on the ground? No. You'd rather eat my arm instead, huh? Yeah, man. I'm just a stepping stone for the little ones. It's funny. It's funny how, evolution works. It's built into us, man. The moment you have a child, it's like, cool, man, no worries. You had a good run, but now it's all about this guy. It's like automatic. Something clicks in you and you're like, yep, kids are more important. Because that's built into our evolutionary system, right? That's how we got to where we are. We're a very, very well-designed system. It's all about the little guys. He looks like me, does he? Everyone tells me that all my kids look like me. The squatting genes overpowered her. Yeah. I mean, even that's really exciting for me. So by the time he's like 15 years old, I'll be 50. So I'll be 50 when my third child is 15. That's pretty good, actually. It's not bad. So I'll still be training for sure. I wonder what my numbers are going to be when he's just starting out. So see how it's like a natural progression? So my vigor, my peak of masculinity, peak of vitality, peak of physical performance is going to start to decline as he starts to enter his prime. You know, prime years are like 17, 18, 19, 20, when he's like hormones are flying. So I'm naturally gonna start to assume a coaching, mentoring, supporting role. And that's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like that, you know, absolutely that. That's how it's supposed to be. You know, you don't want it any other way. So I've got like 15 years, let's say, probably even earlier, because the big boy is now 7 years old. So let's say I've got another 10 years of like, you know, trying to make something happen by 45 or something. You know, let's see what Ivana can, top number. Okay, let's see if I can hit 260, 270, 280 on the squat, 300 on the squat. That'll be really sick in 10 years time. And then that can be like my final figure, top figure that I can do. Well, who knows? Like, you never know. You know, I could be still doing stuff when I'm 50. You know, you never know, because I started at 25. I didn't start at 3 like some of these Chinese weightlifters, and I didn't use steroids, so my longevity is probably going to be a lot better than what we kind of expect. Oh, really? Rock's baby's doing this. Hi, Marina. The bus is almost going to pull up. When the bus pulls up, we're going to have to run, get ready for work, because your brother's going to be home and your mama's going to be home, and you're going to want to take some milky from her. Little boy's going to want some attention as well. Oh. The muscle man. Check out his adductors. We're bouncing in the club. We're bouncing in the club. Thank you, Ran. Appreciate you, man. Oh, enough, Tata, enough. I need a hug. What are you doing to this chat room, Sina? You have disrupted everything. All the chats have stopped because we're just kissing each other now. Potential record holder right here, boys. 5 months old. Look at that back. No. Boys, if I can give you one piece of advice, man. Family is the most important. It's going to give you the most reward, the most goodness, feeling, love that you can ever experience. All of this material shit, squat numbers, success, all of that stuff will come second, man. The way that this guy makes me feel is Incredible. It's what true love is. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And it kind of makes me excited for people that don't have kids and who are going to have kids in the future. And you've got some wonderful stuff happening, you know, coming your way. Like, you're not even aware of what power of emotion this is. It's absolutely the greatest thing of life. And on that note, boys, I'll leave you to it. I'm gonna go eat this little fella, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I can do another live, another session, and you guys have a good one. All right, appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.